Okay guys, this is going to be about blankets and other winter stuff. A lot of times I like to run winter type videos, of course, in the winter, right? In the winter. So, anyway, I'm going to go with a couple of blankets first. We're going to talk about blankets a little bit here. I've talked about blankets before on the channel, but I want to talk about blankets again and give you a heads up about a blanket that I just got. So this isn't a show and tell thing. This is just talking about blankets in general. But I want to give you a heads up on this blanket that I just got, because it's a blanket that I've always wanted to pick up because it's a king size, right? Obviously these are wool blankets. And also I wanted to talk about eyewear, right, for winter. So we will discuss that as well. So we got, 13.5 minutes left here, so let's get cracking. So this first blanket I'm going to show you, I inherited two of these. Okay, this wool trapper blanket made by L.V.I of Witney. Now I've got two of them, and they came out in 1976. So I inherited these two blankets. Not the other one I'm going to show you, but two of these L.V.I of Witney. Okay, L.V.I is a branch of the Witney family. Okay, so there were several Witney groups, and they all made blankets. They're all in the same family, just like cousins and everything over there in the Cotswolds, right, in England. So anyway, L.V.I's, they made the Hudson's Bay blanket for over 200 years. So for more than 200 years, L.V.I of Witney made all of the Hudson's Bay's blankets. So if you get an L.V.I of Witney blanket, it's the same company that made Hudson's Bay. So I know Hudson's Bay is very popular and whatnot, but that doesn't really, it's not a huge deal. Right? Not a deal breaker if you don't have a Hudson's Bay. I don't have a Hudson's Bay, but I have two blankets that were made by the company that made the Hudson's Bay blanket. If that makes sense, right? So anyway, these are called trapper blankets. And when I was a kid, we used to call these the candy cane blankets or the Santa Claus blankets because of the stripes, right? And then they were kept you super warm. So if it was cold enough and you were lucky enough, this was put on you. And let me tell you, it's got to be really cold for you to really want to have one of these on you for any length of time. So anyways, it got the special tags here. So in 1976, they took the original specs of the version that Witney made in 1776. Okay, 200 years. So this is 200th. This is what gets me. Okay, this is so ironic. Okay, because of the Revolutionary War, right? So it has a Union Jack. And it has an Old Glory here in the zeros on the 200. So, I don't know if you could see that or not. But anyway, these blankets were made for the bicentennial, 1776 to 1976. Made in England, right? So, anyway, it's got all of the usual, stuff on there. By appointment to Her Majesty the Queen, blah blah blah, manufacturers of blankets, Charles Early, and blah 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 limited. I mean, it's got all that usual stuff on there. And then it says that it is an authentic reproduction. So what that means is it's an authentic reproduction of the blanket they made exactly in 1776. So it's a point blanket, has little stripes on it and whatnot. This is a full-size blanket, so it's larger than a twin but smaller than a queen, right? So anyway, I got 2 of these. This is a 5-pound blanket. 5 pounds. Anyway, I'm getting hot standing here holding it. So it's got the original striping and everything is exactly what it was in 1776. So anyway, I got lucky. I feel very fortunate, just lucky, you know. And the thing about these blankets is these particular ones were napped. Okay, so some wool blankets are napped and some are not napped. When they nap them, it makes it a little bit fuzzier. Right, so if you're going to use it in your house, you know, and it looks kind of, you know, it's going to look warmer, right? So anyway, if it's napped. Okay, so we'll move on to the next blanket. All right, I've used about half my time already on that blanket, but these are our special blankets that I feel fortunate to have 2, not just 1, but 2 of them. Right? Anyway, never been cold. But throw that on top. Man, doesn't matter. It was 3 years ago, whatever it was. Got to minus 35 Fahrenheit. Right here. And I had one of those and I was hot. So anyway, these blankets here came along. This is the Pendleton. Okay, Pendleton Woolen Mills here in the USA, and this one is if they napped it, it's not very napped. But the thing is that when you use a wool blanket, it's going to get kind of, you know, nappy as you use it, especially if you're using it with other wool blankets, right? Now this particular blanket is Glacier National Park, right? So Glacier, it's got the goat and the Pendleton seal there. Now I always wanted a king size. All you could get before was twin and queen, okay? But I always wanted a king size. I wanted a king size so that if I had to be outside somewhere and I had to wrap all up, then I wanted something that would kind of keep all of my other wool blankets together underneath. You know what I mean? So one big taco, right? Or one big wrap. Oh, you know. That's the thing is you don't want to be tight in your blankets either, though. You want them to kind of just like drape over your body so that you get these little pockets of air that will heat up, right? You don't want your blanket tight on you because then you'd be cold. So that creates cold spots, right? So you want to be able to have something like this and just to kind of keep all your other blankets together and whatnot. So this is a 6.5 pound blanket. I got it and I picked it up today, and I always weigh everything by digital scale. So this is 6.5 pounds. It's king size, and it is a first run Pendleton Glacier king size, and it has different stripes. Okay, so they did a little bit different stripes because these are first run blankets. They're not seconds. They're not seconds as far as quality goes. It's just the first run. It's the first time they've made them. So this particular color pattern goes with these first run blankets. So it's quite possible that the second run on will have these traditional style colors like on this Early's blanket. So that's what I'm thinking will happen, but I'm not sure. But anyway, we're supposed to have a snow storm tonight, and tomorrow in the morning, obviously, I will be busy with, you know, snow removal. But anyway, so I wanted to share that blanket with you. You could get these first run blankets right now. Okay, you call Pendleton on the phone, and you can get first run blankets right now. They might be on the second run already. But anyway, you better get with it if you want first run in these colors. Okay, so that's those blankets. And of course, I've got a lot of military blankets too. I picked up some brand new old stock from 1961 Canadian wool blankets, and those are going to be extra, you know, stash blankets for, you know, just in case to have, right? It's always good to have extra wool blankets around. So let's move on to eyewear real quick. So one thing I don't really see a lot of people talking about eyewear for the winter time online. So these particular glasses are yellow or amber lenses. Now, you'll say, well, what does that have to do with winter time? Well, if you're driving a car in a blizzard and you don't have yellow or amber fog lights, you can wear yellow or amber lenses, and that will trick your eyes into being able to see through, just like an amber lens on a fog light will. Do you follow me? So I have that on my goggles, and then I have these, right, which have these side shields. They're not safety glasses or nothing, but they are yellow amber. And anyway, so it cuts through. It cuts through if there's a, and you know, something like this, I'll wear it like if I'm running the snowblower at night, right? I mean, if it's going to be a real blow, you know, with lots and lots of snow, then I might start, you know, my snowblower and at night and do snow blowing, and then, you know, maybe about 2 in the morning, something like that, do some snow blowing. And then it's not as deep in the morning, you see. So you just kind of like work it like that. Just depends. Or you could just wait until the morning and do it all then. Totally up to you. But anyway, these lenses, you know, they're key to like being able to see through in a blizzard condition. Okay. So I've got my military goggles with this yellowish amber lens, and then I've got these things, which I use these too. Just depending on the situation, you know, how cool I want to look, right? Running out of time here. Got about a minute left. So I wanted to talk to you about blankets a bit, and I wanted to talk to you about lenses, this color lens, and why you should have some around for winter, right? So I'll come back in another video and we'll talk a little bit more chit chat. So I'll see you there.